Hello everyone, thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. To those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. This is about a pastor who has been sentenced to 140 years in prison. Wow, 140. All right, let's go into the reason why he was actually sentenced to 140 years in prison. He's a 51 years old pastor whose name is Pastor John, and he has been sentenced to 140 years in prison by the Kenyan government, appearing that John, or Pastor John as he is being known, committed a very serious crime, which can also be seen as an abomination. Appearing before the senior principal magistrate, that's in the person of Anthony, that's at the High Court, on Thursday, January 14th. The pastor was slapped with a 70-year jail term for sexually assaulting each of the girls. The court ruled that the sentence will run consecutively as a result of the fact that he impregnated two daughters aging 14 and 16 years in Kenya. However, he was said that to be sentenced to 70 years for each offense, and you have 14 days to appeal. So each of the offense, 70 years. For the first girl of 14 years, 70 years. And for the second girl of 16 years, 70 years. So making it sum of 140 years. Wow, that's really, really long. A very, very long span. Number of years has been given to him. As such, the court orders that to be added in the register of convicted and dangerous offenders. He is going to serve 70 years for each of the counts of defilement, and these sentences to run consecutively, so which means there is no break. Once he's done with the first 70 years, he will run another 70 years. As such, the accused pleaded guilty to the charges exactly on January 5th. This was when he pleaded guilty at the court, accepting that he actually impregnated two of these girls and was remanded until Thursday. He blamed the devil for his actions and saying that he's asking for forgiveness from his children, and the court saying that everybody makes mistakes. So you are seeing what's happening right now, a father impregnating two of his daughters. He said that I pray that the courts and those that I have offended, including the girls I impregnated, it is my first time to commit such an act, and I blame the devil for tricking me. These were his exact words. Also, the charges read out to him by the prosecution indicated that the first offense was committed on diverse dates between June 1st and 30th in the village where they were staying in Kenya, and also against the 16-year-old daughter who is now 7 months pregnant for him. And the second offense was committed on around August, that's in 2020, against the 14-year-old daughter who is now 6 months pregnant. Both of them are still in primary school. You can imagine. And he was also arrested in Meru County, where he had fled to and posed as a Somalia header, but residents were suspicious of his accent and tipped authorities before he was arrested in the first week of January. The court was told that the matter was not reported and that the accused continued to live in the same compound with the victims. The matter was later reported to the Bachio police station by the area chief, prompting the suspect to escape till he was traced and arrested in Bere. You can just imagine what a father will do to his children. This is just a big abomination. Two of his daughters, he got them impregnated and then ran away. When the neighbors, community members realized what he had done to his daughters, he now had to escape and thinking that he had fled to a hideout. But people in that area, because the village he went to, they were expecting him to have their own kind of accent, but he didn't have the accent and he was kind of strange amongst them. They all had similarities, but this man amidst them wasn't having any traits like someone from that particular village. So what the community members had to do was they now had to go and meet the authorities and tip them like, there is somebody in our community, we don't really understand him and we don't know where he's coming from. Probably there is something fishy going on here, because the man was actually acting strange. That was why they were suspicious. Probably if he was acting like a normal person, maybe like a visitor around the neighborhood, it would have been different. But because of the crime he has committed, he is now trying to hide, and then he went to a different village entirely. But unknowingly to him that the community members are familiar with each other. They are familiar that there's a particular kind of accent you need to have if you are from that village. And since he wasn't having that accent and he was acting all suspicious, that created a kind of alarm amidst the villagers, and they had to go and meet the authorities and tipped them to come and investigate secretly to know who this particular man is. And upon the investigation, they now realized that the man that had fled from his own village because of the crime he had committed, and there he got arrested and was taken back to his village in Kenya where he had committed this crime before he fled, and then he was taken to court. So right now his daughters, the 16-year-old daughter is 7 months pregnant, and then the 14-year-old daughter is 6 months pregnant, and they are still in primary school. See what a father will do to his children. Right now he has destroyed part of their future, because these girls will have to drop out of school. Definitely they may not be able to complete their studies until they must have given birth and being able to have someone maybe take care of the child before they may eventually go to school. Some of them may not even go back to school anymore. The shame and everything may not let them go back to school. So this is a very, very big shame that has been brought upon these little girls who don't even know anything. But how could a father go to this extent? And he was still living with them under the same roof after doing this. And he claimed that it was his first time of having to get involved with his daughters in such illicit acts. And from the statement, it's showing that he didn't just have any illicit act with his daughters once, it was more than once. So see what a father would do to his daughters, humiliating them. You can imagine that they are carrying kids that belong to their own father. It's so heartbreaking to hear things like this or to see things like this happening. Now he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. That's what it means, obviously, because giving him 70 years and he's already in his 50s, so he's having 70 years to stay in jail for the first child, and then another 70 years for the second child, and it is consecutively, which means back to back. There is no break. He's not going to, after the first 70 years, then go back again and then come back. No. That means he is spending the rest of his life in jail. He may never even see his daughters again, or the grandchildren that he has now from his own daughters, except they decide to go and visit him while in jail for him to see the babies. Otherwise, he can't even see them again. But how would one say the devil led him to this? Looking at them, at least the man is okay. You're a pastor, you know better. He's okay. He doesn't look sick. He doesn't look mental ill. He even said it that it was the devil who pushed him into an act like this. But why would you go to this extent? Your own daughters, and it's two of them. If you were now claiming that it was the devil who pushed you, you went to the first daughter. It didn't occur to you that this is wrong, I should stop at that first time. You didn't stop with the first child, you continue with her again, and then now went to the second child. That's to say that something is wrong somewhere. It's either he just made up his mind to carry out this act, this abominable act, or something else. Because you can imagine a father, you fathered these children, you watched them grow, and now you are contributing to destroying their future. Because these girls may live for the rest of their lives hating their dad for destroying their lives. You can just see how these girls will live up with these babies. And if there is no one to take care of them or to help them assess the babies, who knows how the outcome will be. But I pray that since the Kenyan government is already involved in this, I pray that it help these girls throughout their pregnancy period. Even after birth, they should help them to take care of the babies and see the welfare of both babies and mothers. It is just so disheartening and depressing that a father would go to this extent to do this on his own daughters. Even if they are not his daughters, doing this to little girls, it's a big abomination. It's terrible. Because how will he feel now as a human being? Going flashing back with what he did and where he has ended and what he has done to the lives of his daughters. How is he going to feel? I think people should be mindful of their actions. You've done something that is wrong the first one. You didn't give yourself a pause. You went back again and again and again. And now you are saying it was the devil who pushed you. When you were in that act, were you not conscious of your actions? These are the questions you would now ask. What were you thinking at the time you started or conceived this in your heart? Because first of all, before people carry out acts, either good or bad, you must have conceived it in your heart. You must have premeditated on this particular thing. You not just stand up and then jump in like someone or spirit is leading you. No. Since he's in his right senses and he didn't complain like he has a mental illness or anything or forces pushed him, no, he now blames it on the devil, which means it was a premeditated act. After carrying out on the first child, you were not enough, and to stop there to realize, oh, this is wrong. You went back to the second child. What advice would he now give to his children? What advice will you now give out to the congregation? Because he has just brought out these little girls to limelight for something he did bad to them. Because it's not a good thing. Children are blessings. Yes, it's very good to have children, but not in this manner. Not you impregnating your little babies. They are babies because these are girls that are still in primary school. 14 and 16 years old. They are still growing and coming up. They are just young girls getting into their teenage stage, and you just succeeded in ruining part of their lives, because this is just obviously ruining their own lives. Well, he is not asking for forgiveness, and it's up to his daughters to make up their minds to forgive their dad, because he is their dad. He has realized his mistake, even though he realized it when he's already late because he was caught. That was why he's now pleading and asking his daughters to forgive him. But notwithstanding, maybe the daughters will find a place in their heart to forgive him, since he is their father and he has realized that what he did was wrong. Please, people should be mindful. If you are in this kind of a state or a position where you are seeing yourself going into an act that you know is not right, please take a pause, take a step back and ask yourself a question. What will be the consequences of my actions? Where will I end up? You may be telling yourself nobody can see you, nobody will get hold of you, but you can never tell. You may get exposed at a time you don't expect, and the consequences, you may not be able to bear it. So please, anyone who is seeing himself or herself trying to act in a very terrible and abominable way, please pull yourself back. If you're struggling with it, confide in somebody and talk to somebody that this is what you're struggling with and you don't want to do it. Because all actions are premeditated from the heart before you take them. So while you're still thinking of carrying out such acts, or you're in the plan of doing it, please talk to yourself, ask yourself questions, place A and B together, place positive and negative, place the consequences right in front of you, and think, pause before you act. Everybody should be mindful of their actions irrespective of who is involved. Please think before you act. Friends, once again, for those who want to start up a new YouTube channel, there's a teacher called Matt Pa. He has received a lot of awards from YouTube, and he's gained lots of revenues from YouTube as well. You could see his monthly revenues, and you can also see his gold and silver certificate, everything, badges that has been given to him directly from YouTube. He is a teacher that will give you a step-by-step method on how to start your new YouTube channel and how to be successful on YouTube channel as well. So I'm dropping the link below. Please click on that link. You have direct access to Matpa and to his classes. He will ensure that you have all the information and detail you need at your fingertips from scratch, how to start a new YouTube channel. And to make it easier for you, Matpa will give you responses at any time if you're having difficulties on how to go about anything at all. Once you're about to start, he's going to put you through. And even if you've started and you want some help or assistance further as you go, he will also assist you. So please click on that link, and then you communicate directly and have access to Matpa's class. Then you would see things going on smoothly and easy for you on your new YouTube channel. So you can see that's Matpa himself, and you see his revenue that he has actually been getting from YouTube, and you can see the silver, the gold plates that he received from YouTube. So friends, I'll be glad to get to see that some of you, or everybody who wants to be part or have your own new YouTube channel, click on the link. Thank you, friends, for coming up today. Please, to those that have not subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Once again, thank you. God bless you all.